A.S. Prasad, General Manager, Integrated Rack Solutions, Asia and India, Vertiv. He's going to be talking about sustainability spotlight, reshaping the future data center. Please welcome on stage Dr. A.S. Prasad from Vertiv.
How do I use this?
Just pass the screen.
Pointer. Good evening to everybody. So my name is Prasad. I'm based out of Mumbai, and I look after the integrated rack solutions business for Vertiv for Asia and India, excluding China, so that's my territory. And for the next 10 minutes or so, I'll be speaking about sustainability spotlight, a little about Vertiv and what we do in the data center space industry. So just to capture your attention, so there's some trivia for you. So what does this mean, and does it ring a bell? What does this mean? So 21 zeros and 180 and all that, what does it mean? And people who have been the CIOs who have been there in Sanjeev Mehta AMD's presentation yesterday morning, they would have, this was there in his presentation. So what is this? Yeah, okay. So this is the total connected data all across, what IDC calls as the total data sphere. So it is that big that is going to be in 2025. And approximately 50% of this data, which is going to be seen here, it's 180 into 180 zettabytes. 180 zettabytes is 10 to the power of 20, and that's huge. That's what all the connected devices all across, starting from public cloud to enterprise captive data centers to IoT devices to edge, what is there as edge, the total is zettabytes. And what does it mean? It's basically, it's like if you keep Blu-ray discs from Earth to Moon, you can keep it 23 times with all this data. Or it's like having a 1 GB pen drive and 180 trillion 1 GB pen drives. That's the whole data we're talking about. And 50% of that is going to happen in the next 3 years as per IDC. So that's the volume part of it. And then comes to the speed part. So there is the average eye blink time is 140 milliseconds, and the first person shooting game requires a latency of 30 milliseconds, and then it's getting faster and faster. So which means there's a lot of compute that's going to happen at the edge side, and the entire compute market for the edge industry in the next 3 years, as per again Gartner and global data, is going to be $4.1 billion. So this is a hypothesis by some of us in Vertiv that the edge is a multiplier of the cloud. So there is as much as cloud that's coming, there is going to be a multiplier edge industry, and that's what our hypothesis is. So there is what you call as the public cloud, the colo hyperscale data centers, and then there is 5G, and there is a customer edge. So it's the entire continuum, and the edge is a multiplier of the cloud, is what we believe in, which is good for all of us sitting over here. So that was the volume part of it, and that was the sensitivity part of it in terms of the data latency and the speed that's required. But this is again completely disrupting the industry. The heat and the power load that's required right now, it's like per rack, it's something like, earlier we talked about 3 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt, we're talking about 120 kilowatt, and they're even talking about 200 kilowatt per rack. So that's the kind of heat and power load that's happening, because the entire chip industry is talking about 500 watts per chip is now actually going to 700 watts per chip. So CPUs, GPUs, and then the TPUs and all that. So the whole industry is changing, and all of this is contributing to that. So this is again an organizational dilemma. On one side is all this AI, the other side is our goals of environment, sustainability, and governance, which all of us are responsible for, and all of you here as CIOs. And how do we help you? It's the storage, processing, reporting. That's on one side is important, and it consumes a lot of heat and power load. And the other side is to balance with the ESG, and that's where Vertiv is going to help you in terms of your scope 2 and scope 3 emissions. That's where we come into play. So in terms of decarbonization and ensuring that your data center is actually net neutral and it doesn't add to emissions. So sustainability is a huge factor, but what I also want to say is that 85% know that the data center industry managers believe sustainability is important, but only 28% of them have access to key energy matrices. So that's something that's a challenge. Everybody wants it, but people don't know how to do that. And then we as Vertiv try to help you in whatever we can, so that we can try to help you reduce the scope 2 and scope 3 emissions. So this is how Vertiv comes to play into whatever we do. So these are all the end users, government, BFSI, and then there is industrial, transport, telecom, retail. These are all the end users, and you CIOs who are all looking after this layer. But this is where actually Vertiv tries to help you in terms of software-defined infrastructure, edge computing, modular traditional data centers, hybrid. So you can be on the public cloud, it's like the multi-cloud. You can be on enterprise captive data center, you can be on the edge, but that's Vertiv plays in all of this and helps you ensure sustainable goals. So I want to be proud of what Vertiv doing in this, because there's a Department of Energy, there is a branch of the Department of Energy. They spend around $40 million is what the US Department of Energy, the United States, actually spend across 40 different companies between $1 million to $5 million. And NVIDIA, the largest one of the chip manufacturers in Vertiv, will actually partner. So we now have partnership with NVIDIA for what is known as the heat rejection part. So there will be a mix of DCLC, which is direct chip cooling, and immersion cooling. And Vertiv will be working with NVIDIA. In 3 years' time, we're going to come up with a solution for this problem. We've got a $5 million grant, and Vertiv and NVIDIA have partnered on this. And for all those over here, at the end of it, I'm going to ask you a few questions, so please be attentive. And there is some very, very nice gifts that they're going to give to all those people who can ask you questions. So just be a little attentive. I know I'm standing between you and maybe a little dinner, but we will try to pass it. So this is how Vertiv is trying to help you in terms of what we do. So we are into renewable energy, we are into intelligent power management, we are into lithium-ion batteries, we are into thermal management, we are into liquid cooling, and we are also into real-time IT management monitoring. So Vertiv is a complete portfolio which will actually is all about space, power, and cooling. So we have got UPS systems, we've got cooling systems, we've got hyper-converged, true hyper-converged solutions where it's storage, network, and it's also about the entire rack system, which means we also can give you compute, network, storage, fire suppression, access control, asset tracking, all in a box. And I'll talk about that a little later on. So what Vertiv actually imagines is a world where digital infrastructure scales with zero negative impact. And that's what we want to do. And we strive to be the center of the change, helping all CIOs ensure that you actually are net neutral and there's no zero negative impact even when it comes to power, cooling, IT management. So this is the last slide that I have. It's about the entire Virtu portfolio. So we are there from multi-cloud environment, and we are there in IT managed services. We are into edge data centers. We are into the last milestone in terms of what I'm showing here as a simple, like a smart closet, which is the smallest device that we have, which is a 15U rack, and we are into large data centers, 100 plus racks, and we are into the complete solution, helping CIOs ensure that we give you complete sustainable solutions. So we have what are known as the simple rack, is actually the rack with an IP, with dongle and the serial console for IT management. The next level is dongle console, and we also give you asset tracking solutions. So you can know when somebody pulls out a server from one place and goes and puts it somewhere else, you know where the original position of the server was and where it is going to right now. Complete finger access control system. We have the complete solution for that, so we come and understand from you what your requirement is. We can give you cooling, power, space, inventory solutions, asset tracking, and complete IT management, and all of it. If I should not be leaving the stage without talking about AI and ML. So we can actually enable it with AI and ML. It will tell you when your chiller is going to get shut down, when there's a compressor problem. So we take signatures of all these devices much before, and when they start performing, when the electronically controlled fan starts creating issues in terms of RPM, etc., we can actually tell you in terms of that there is going to be a breakdown. So at that level, our complete solution of IT management, hyper-converged physical infrastructure, we can give you storage, network computing, which is what a customer gives. We can give you complete data center in a box, which is fire suppression, access control, asset tracking, sensor, monitoring, and everything put together. And it's completely ready to deploy solution which we have. So that's what we say as a complete portfolio. We do have a stall outside, and most of you have visited there. So please do come to our stall also and see our solutions. We've got a smart cabinet, which is what displays is over there. And that's my last slide, and we'll get the questions. So I'll have to present Santosh as my colleague there, who will be giving. So first question is, who is Virtu partnering with? So it's a partnership with universities and some other companies, but the main, and what is it for?
NVIDIA is the answer.
No, NVIDIA is the answer, but what was that for? What are we trying to help NVIDIA with? What is the problem we're solving?
Heat rejection.
Heat rejection is the answer, okay. Thank you very much.
Many of you gave, so I think, but I saw you first.
It's like fastest fingers first. The
Two
first
more
one is-
questions coming. But I'll come.
Okay, the second question is actually about the first slide that I showed here, okay? So, what's the total size of the data sphere as per IDC that we're talking about? 180 watt. Yeah, 180 zettabytes. So
Who have to do that?
that's up to you.
How did they? I think
180, somebody said first.
simple question, just for the little fun at the end of long day you all have.
Okay, and the third question again is
ये तो जल्दी जाने की जरूरत है।
okay, and the third question.
2 मिनट में आ जाता है ये।
Yeah, so this is the first slide about a product called DSC, a video that
लटकन यही
plays.
लग रहा
How
है, बिजली
many
हो रही है।
gallons of water does it save? The first slide which I showed you.
देख हाथ की रेखा मिट रही होगी।
You look at the video, yeah? How much does DSC help in terms of
तो देखिए
water
तूने ही
savings?
सबसे पहले
Did someone see?
भरोसा नहीं था अपने।
10 million? No. 4 million?
4 million watt. Yeah, that's the answer.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
very much. A little about Virtu. Virtu is a globally headquartered company based in Columbus, in Ohio. Our turnover last year was $5.7 billion, and everything looks fine. As per earnings call, we will touch $6.7 billion this year, and you're all very important to us. So we will help you in whatever way you can to have your data centers sustainable. Thank you very much.